So before I begin, I just wanted to remind you that my Patreon page has been revamped. If you want to support these videos, if you want to support my work, change the traditional martial arts, and be in this movement, just check the Patreon page either in the description or in the thumbnails at the end of the video. Now, this question keeps on arising in the comments, and it's a really great question. It is the responsibility of a martial arts teacher in terms of making sure that their students would be able to defend themselves. Now, this question just simply makes sense, but at the same time, I can really see where the issue lies. Because even myself, for so many years, being an Aikido practitioner, being an instructor, professional instructor, especially in the past when I was much more brainwashed, I would keep on just passing on certain ideas from my other instructors that Aikido really works, or that it works only in this realm, in this context, that it works only because and based like this. So a lot of excuses, and sometimes when I would have my own doubts, like, okay, you strike and you leave your hand out there, it's like, why do you train like this? Nobody's going to attack like this, or all those strange Aikido attacks that are out there. Even yourself, you would question in the beginning, like, why the hell are we doing them? You would learn an excuse for them, like, oh, these are the lines that we're working on. This if somebody would use a bottle, and some of them make more sense. Some of them don't make much sense. But we keep on passing on that information. We keep on passing on those techniques, convincing our students that this works. And I know this happens in other traditional martial arts too, or even in combat martial arts, modern combat martial arts as well. But the issue is that, yes, I feel that the instructor is responsible for that student's safety, in the sense that if the student is convinced by the sensei, by the instructor, that these all techniques are amazing and they really work, again, I was there too, in that belief, that then you go out in the street, you really are trusting yourself, you have confidence, and somebody attacks you, and suddenly you have no clue what to do, or you're trying to do those techniques where you were convinced that they work, but they don't. And then you can get really into big trouble because you don't have a good sense of how reality actually works. So now the question comes back to the instructor. So is the student responsible for the practicality and reality of self-defense, and that whatever BS the instructor says, the student has to see through it and only take what is real, and he's responsible for his safety? Or actually, which for me makes more sense, the instructor should feel a big responsibility for the safety of the students, and he should question things himself. It's basically, how can an instructor pass on information and say to his people that this works, this doesn't work, we're training this specific technique because of that, if he hasn't tried it himself? One of the things that I do, I try to keep my humility and say, okay, I try to stress that normally it is said that it's like this and this, although I have my doubts. Or my instructor used to say this, but I haven't ever tested it. So that kind of makes the reality side of the things a bit bigger, because I actually transfer part of the information, and so that the student can make his own conclusions. But too many instructors, they go about saying, this really works, this is the best technique ever, this is deadly, etc., without ever having tested it, without ever having questioned it. And the question is, are they not really causing harm to their students and danger? Which really, honestly, can be a big problem in Aikido, because that illusion is passed on in so many places, in so many ways, that people just have such a mixed up, unrealistic view of how things really work, without actually having full responsibility of it, because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, which convinced them with all that bullcrap. Basically, just to come back to my question, correct me if I'm wrong. If you feel that, no, it's not the responsibility of the teacher to test, to prove things, to make sure, to question things, but he just passes on the crap information that he was given without testing it, without double checking it, and passing it on to his students, and giving the responsibility for them to clarify and realize what works and what doesn't, or whether it should be the other way around. I'm curious to know your opinion about the responsibility of the student, instructor, and the whole approach to reality. And I'm going to be looking forward for your comments. If you want to support the Patreon page, now you should see the thumbnail somewhere there. Your support will really make things go quicker. I can make more videos, hire some people to help me out with that. Big things might happen, and your support will be very beneficial here. So without further ado, I'll leave you to the comments, and I'll see you on the virtual mat again next time.